Hello everyone, today I'm reviewing the recent release of Backpack Battles, which I find to be a surprisingly addictive gem of a game. Don't be fooled by its simple look, as there's a lot of complexity here that will keep you entertained for quite a while, even if you normally hate inventory management. The idea is that you have a backpack which holds items, sure enough, but the magic of the game is that the items in your pack can have interactions with things next to them. But not everything interacts with everything else. The fun comes from learning what the various interactions are and how to best utilize them with your limited storage capacity. Some items in your pack are activated at the start of a match and will thereafter sit idle, while others, such as weapons, activate periodically through the fight. There are even a few other things like potions that have a very specific trigger, and once that moment passes, they are used up and can't be used again. Kind of. These mechanics are overlaid on top of a roguelike skeleton, which has you pick a character type and a ranked or unranked game. Regardless of which you pick, you'll enter a gauntlet of at least 10 to 15 fights, depending on how well you do. Sprinkled over all of these mechanics, sprinkles over ice cream, is guided randomness. Before each match, you'll be faced with the smiling face of a foxcorn showing off his shop's wares. On turn 1, you are guaranteed to be able to choose from some very basic items, but even at this stage there is a small amount of variety and occasionally you'll see something rare pop up. Learning what things interact or combine with what is part of the fun discoveries in the game. You can also, of course, expand your packs by buying additional bags, belts, and more, and each one of these types of bags has an effect that you'll want to consider alongside the overall expansion of your pack. For example, fanny packs speed up the activation of items placed inside them. And let's not forget that many weapons and armor pieces also have slots that can fit in gems. Gems come in various colors and qualities and can have a drastic effect on what your weapon does. If that wasn't complex enough, there are also 4 character classes that come with their own unique backpack that gives you access to a basic mechanic. For example, the Pyromancer gets a fire pit with 9 slots, and that fire pit can generate a flame at the cost of a gold coin every time you enter the shop. Additionally, every fire item placed inside your starting bag, the fire pit, will give you 5 bonus health. Some items take up more than 1 slot, so it makes sense that you might want to keep a bunch of small fire items in the fire pit to maximize your health advantage. As you succeed in your battles, your character will earn a specialization which lets you either diversify your character with a new mechanic or double down on a mechanic that you're already using. For example, the Pyromancer could opt to get additional heat by using mana, or you could get a dragon nest that will allow you to easily add dragons to your backpack. The game doesn't really point any of this out to you, but you just learn it through observation. Sometimes when you look at an item, there's a blue line that comes off it. You can move the item around and trace that line to another item. Yellow lines signify fusion potential, and green lines show a one-way interaction such as lighting a torch on fire. Another nice touch is that your opponents appear to be characters that were created by other players. It's not completely clear how the matchmaking works, but you'll still see some easy fights, some drawn-out fights where you win or lose by a hair, and fights that you'll quickly realize you cannot win. These fights let you see other players' approach to the game and can give you ideas of things to try or avoid. I do have a few negatives that I consider very minor, but I still feel are worth mentioning. First of all, there is no record of your fights anywhere. If you created a particularly cool character, once your run is done, it will only live in your memory. Possibly it's stored in the game server to be fought against by others, but either way you can't tell, and I feel it would be a nice touch if there was a record of them somewhere, especially if they're being used against other players. There is a rank system after all, but no in-game leaderboard. While there's a log of your damage during the run, once the run is over, it's not accessible any longer, and you can't compare and contrast your runs to each other. It would be nice to at least get an after battle report that shows you your total damage output, total healing, damage taken, etc. But I can see that this might have been a design choice. For me personally, I would have preferred numbers though. Overall, if you enjoy min-maxing builds and the need to adapt them to the whims of a rogue run, you're going to enjoy this game. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.